Excuse me. You said, oh, by the way, Erin is on her way here, probably in the process of getting a speeding ticket.
Yep.
What happens is if you both do the same job and work together, first of all, who would be stupid enough to keep all your family income? Oh,
I see her.
there she is.
She's here.
I can sit out here and eat
No, come.
No, come on. Come on in.
It looks cozy, and I got stuff. I've got chocolate I can drink.
No, come on in. We were just talking about you probably getting another speeding ticket. Thank you so much.
No speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Look how pretty.
She's gonna.
Oh yeah, look who's talking. I like the blue.
You're wearing socks, slippers.
Yes.
So
That's because he took away our Santa slippers. Do
Yeah,
you remember
where
our Santa
are they?
slippers?
Where are they?
Our maracas
Yes.
that were denied
we need
to
them
us.
by Thursday.
all right.
Yep.
Have your
Love you,
seat.
Daisy. Thank
I'll
you.
prop you up higher. So explain what happened. The show is falling apart.
That's really not the first time, honey. That's kind of a metaphor for our entire.
So explain to people what just happened.
Oh no.
Here's the Morning Mountain Cam in case you were missing it. Brought to you by.
Of course, it's beautiful. It's brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people. You
Right.
can get a new car and repair your credit. Utah
Right.
Credit Approval.
So tell us what.
Only if you turn that off, because Aki played it all last night.
What tell? Oh, look at that. Wait. If you're
That's
on
right.
it, hang on. It is
See?
Christmassy.
No, but
and
our son Zaki still loves
and see all
trips
the
to this
digital
day.
information around the edge.
That makes us look more official, doesn't it?
No, we just don't know how to turn it off. So it's a very complicated camera.
This is getting better and better.
It's a Nikon. So yeah, so
well, there you go.
yeah.
It explains
So
everything.
I'm going to turn this off again. Do we have the rights to play this music?
Probably not, so turn it off. Noel's got to be. That's got to be an
It's been
open.
played by one of those prong things that.
Yeah, that's got to be open license by now. When was Noel done? Like in the 1700s?
Yeah.
Probably.
So anyway, yesterday,
No, my beloved, our beloved nanny, who we do love, but did not show up. And then there's the frenzied, hysterical phone calls over and over, hoping you can wake her up. And it's usually because their phones run out and they forgot to plug it in or
Right.
something standard.
so you were going to bring the kids.
Oh no, I hauled both of them their clothes, and they were being so nice about it too. They were so tired, and Zoe's like trying to pull on her dress, and she's being all feeble. And Zach like kept walking into stuff because he had no idea what I was doing to him.
Because it was dark. when we
Yeah,
got up.
pretty much. They
All
don't
right.
expect that from
So
me.
so she's there. We're good. Yesterday we were talking about homemade gifts, and so go ahead and run the video. This is just us making stuff yesterday. So we got together and I grabbed Zoe and we thought let's put together Christmas presents, homemade ones.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And so this is something I did when I was a kid. There's Zoe
And it's such a cute idea too.
eating the project. Anyway, so the point being is
That
homemade Christmas cards and gifts and stuff. In the past, we've gotten fudge, we've gotten stuff like that. And I think some people are like, well, they're cheap because you didn't go out and buy, whatever. But
Oh no, I'd much rather have a homemade thing. Always. And my mother always does the Christmas bread with the marzipan in it, and that is like a naturally good.
So-
we've done spice nuts before because you can never argue about spice nuts.
So you go to your local ward and you find their pine trees and you steal their pine cones.
That's not autobiographical
So
at all.
you can either-
that didn't actually happen.
You can either
in
wire
real
them up.
life.
You can either wire them up or whatever, and you get the kids. So you get the kids to put on the peanut butter, then you roll it in the bird seed, and then you hang it up, and then you put it all undone. So they have to do it.
Because they get the enjoyment of covering your entire kitchen in peanut
Even
butter.
the kids get into it. So
that's 'cause
the older kids.
Well, it's because it's smeary and disgusting. How can you not enjoy that?
And then you have birds the whole season. It's the gift of birds,
Hurts.
like a partridge in a pear tree. But
Okay, that's a long walk, but I'm still there with you. That's...
no, please do. I have to drink coffee now because I'm not awake yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So yesterday I had a horrible thing happen to me.
Tell.
And you know the tale of me being fat, temporarily fat. I'm going to call it that.
I don't think you're fat. Let's just say this is post-smoking weight. It will go away.
So how many months? 10?
10 months now.
So
And you don't do that terrible wheezing cough anymore. It's like I can't even
I have
trap
a
you
cold.
in the house.
I have a cold now. But if I gain like 30 pounds, and I don't gain weight. I got some weight here, and I got some weight here, but most of my weight is a baby that I'm carrying right here.
Guys do kind of centralize, don't they?
It's horrible.
I mean, we go into kind of an overall like thing, and guys
Right.
just kind of like, yeah.
And I can't find my fat jeans. 36s. I'm ashamed. And from the back, I look totally normal. Matter of fact, yeah. And I
Little
turn
something for the
sideways, and
ladies.
it's like, who stuck that on your body? Because it. So anyway, to tell you, tell me when it goes bad, it really goes bad. And I get out of the shower last night, and I look down, and I have like talons. I hadn't cut my toenails.
Traditionally, I have to warn you about those things, but I guess I hadn't looked at your feet closely.
So you try going up like this and putting that on, and you can't. They're not facing the right way. Plus, I can't breathe right now. So what I did is I tried to pace myself. And what you do is you get the clippers, and I'm going to stand up for a second.
Oh, God.
Okay. And there's the counter of the bathroom, sink counter right there. Okay. And so this is what you do. You take a deep breath. Okay. Maybe a couple. You want to oxygenate your blood, okay? And then hold me.
Okay.
And then you put a foot up like that. Once again, I cannot breathe. Okay, I've had enough of that. And then you take your clippers and you get one of your talons and you cut it, and then your foot comes down, and then you breathe. The process takes about 15 minutes.
You came staggering out of our bathroom, like the master bathroom, like you had just
Run a marathon.
like I don't know, like skinned a horse or something. It was like I've never seen such exertion.
It was the worst thing ever. And I don't want to be this way anymore. And I don't know what to do about it. My wife sounds so supportive, doesn't she?
I'm
So,
sorry.
if you-
I'm still just visualizing him stark naked, balancing ungainly on one of his long story-like legs.
Let's all think about that
trying to
together,
grip the top.
shall we? Todd. So anyway. And I walked in to tell her, this is all she did. She just laughed. And I was like, ticked.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, honey. You know I am supportive, and we've all gone through these struggles. Always. The hand, really?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the hand now. Is that going to be for the whole show?
WebMD. That's what we're going to talk about. How many people have gone to WebMD and found out that your kid has typhus or something, or has yellow tick fever? No, Colorado.
Rocky Mountain, Colorado spotted tick fever.
My kid got a tick bite, and that's immediately what it was.
No, Zacky's got like blood like pure corn syrup. If there's anything that flies, bites, or stings, it gets him. But he got nailed with a tick up at our cabin, and none of the pediatricians could figure it out. And there was like 3 of them in the hallway looking up a book, and we're like, that's not good when they're looking in
WebMD.
books for things.
You have to go to WebMD.
And that's why they were like, no, we think this is Rocky Mountain spotted tick, Colorado fever. And we're like, are you sure there's a tick named that?
It's a tick.
But it turned out to be a regular Utah tick, so it was just like.
What did people last year look
Hypochondriacs?
for the most? Now this is all of Google. This isn't just WebMD. So this is the crazy people too.
Oh, good.
Right.
Because we're all hypochondriacs when we're sick. I would guess. Let's see. What's the one they were worried about down at the
before
Olympics?
you do that, I have to tell you, if you're going on Facebook to ask for medical advice from your friends,
Like, is this look infected to you? Don't
do that.
do that.
They're not doctors. And I saw one person saying, I have this chest pain. And then one of her friends said, well, why don't you just relax for a while and put your feet up? And she has chest pains.
That's a bad idea.
That's a bad friend.
Well, their intentions.
Good.
Oh,
This is
boy.
Googling about health.
Probably number one, I would think like a drug interaction, like if I took an antibiotic along with my regular medication, or like a weird drug interaction, or would it be about
one of the things was
scarlet fever?
opioids.
Opioids, yeah.
That was one.
Yeah.
Hiccups. One of the top 10.
Top 10 is hiccups?
Right?
We have all the old wives' tales. You know, you drink a glass of water or you hold your breath until you pass out. One or the other. It's
Take
like,
your underwear off and put it on your mailbox.
I've never tried that
Like
one.
Mom used to do. Stop snoring.
Oh,
That's a
I can see
desperate
that.
Google search.
No, that's a marriage-saving Google
That's
search. is
right
what
ahead
that
of
is.
burying my husband in the garden.
Yeah, pretty
because
much.
he snores. Why am I so tired?
That seems like a broader question to be asking.
How long does the flu last? What is normal blood pressure? How to lower cholesterol?
Oh, that's a good one.
What causes high blood pressure? What is ADHD? Lupus.
Lupus is hard. Not lupus. No.
Yeah.
Oh, we just had a friend who was diagnosed with lupus. That is very
It's
sad.
horrible.
Okay, I can
And
see
then
that.
and then reasons why. The reasons why is
Why
addiction
am I
to disease. Why is the roof of my mouth so sore? Captain Crunch.
all the time?
And why is cider vinegar good for you?
I bet there's a ton of like the weird old wives like remedies, and then they try to check with modern science and see if that has any standing.
I just think it's so funny when you
Interesting.
ask your friends for.
Why am I so tired though? It's like even Google's going, I have the vast, incalculable knowledge of the planet here, and I can't answer that for you.
You won't even trust them with a restaurant recommendation, and yet,
You're letting them tell you why you have chest pains.
what kind of salve do I need for this rash? And send pictures and post them on Facebook. If it's your kid, go for it. But if it's you as an adult, it's
The kid one was much worse.
just creepy.
You know, it's funny. I was in the store yesterday with Zoe, and the woman was being really nice. We were trying to get craft stuff, and there was like this big line of the cashiers, and
Yeah.
there was this ridiculously long line of people snaking the way we all do, and we're all like kind of the camaraderie of we're standing in line.
I'm going to
So
blow
we'll
my nose. Keep
Okay.
talking.
the camaraderie of standing in line, and you know how you're all chatting and you're just kind of waiting, and you have nothing better to do. And so I started watching all the interactions as people get up there, and there's like the huffy person like, I've been waiting 20 minutes, so is everybody else, kitten. Or the one that comes up and then starts asking really pointless questions that perhaps she could have asked somebody in the back, and we're all standing there.
Which brings you.
But I've been in the cashier's thing because I did
Did you?
retail. Oh yeah, I did retail all through high school, you know, and then I was a server in college. But yeah, I worked in clothing stores and stuff. So I have, I don't know. I guess I just have such empathy because I've been there, you know. And once you have, you're like, don't ask this
The things you should not say to a cashier.
ever.
And the first thing is, do you work here? Like if they're facing away slightly, or they're milling about, or they're organizing shelves kind of by the register, and it says, take the time to kind of observe them and what they're doing.
Are
And
they
then-
wearing a red smock with a name tag?
Right, and you're in Target. Yeah, and then, okay, so it's like, of course you work here. May I ask for your assistance? Very polite, very nice.
That was beautiful the way you said
I have
that.
coupons at home. You're a lion sack. They
That
know
is
it.
great, good for you, but I still can't print them off here, so you're gonna have to. I
But
still remember
if you're
that
really nice, and they are at Smith's for us, they'll just go like this. And they have the coupon code right there. Beep,
one. Actually, I think that's just to get rid of us faster.
beep.
Yeah,
Money saving.
but that was a good noise.
Thank you. Nothing at all. This is rude. You're on the phone. You put your stuff out like that. Yeah, no, I agree. Here's a human being standing 3 feet away from you.
Queen, hi. How are you today? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just
Huh?
bring my
Right,
things
right.
up.
No. With a hammer, of course. Yeah. And you don't even look up and go, oh, hi. I'm so sorry.
Or thank you,
Just gotta
or
Take this.
and then the cashier also gets to repeat like 18 times what you owe because you're too busy being on the phone.
Here's the one I'm guilty of. There's no tag on it. Well, it must be free.
If you ever said that with me, I would hit you over the head with a shovel.
I do.
That has never failed to make people think that is funny. Why do you think that's funny?
Oh.
Yes, of course, the store is giving things away for free. Of course they are.
Can you open up another register? Well, a lot of the times the cashiers can't do that. But they could say that to their manager, right? I.e., Walmart.
Well, trust me, when there's 47,000 people in your line,
Walmart.
you would like other people to come and help you, and you probably already called.
Walmart. 20 different cashiers, 20 different registers, 20 different lines, 20 rows with candy on both sides, and they only have 2 aisles open. I've never seen more than 2 aisles open. Walmart.
That is true. I'm thinking about that. You're right.
And I'm sure during the Christmas season it's many cashiers, but regularly, no. And it's usually a 20 or less line, which makes you really confused of what to do.
Do the many cashiers thing again.
Many cashiers.
Oh, the abundance.
For your pleasure. Go and ring out food at each one, separating your cart into tents. Many for you. I need cold medicine. Did you bring the cold medicine?
That was really good. No, I don't think you need any more cold medicine. You're doing just fine. Trust me.
Taking mid-morning quill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was I going?
I think you were on the very last one, huh? Last one of all of the...
Can you open up another register? Blah, blah, blah. And go ahead. You do this one.
Why is it so expensive?
This person works at the factory where they make it.
I personally chose to set this price for it. Thank you. And you getting angry at me makes it better. Perhaps if you feel it's too expensive, you should not purchase it.
Oh, ouch.
I don't know.
Ow. That's a register giving it to you. Ouch.
All right, let's go to Daisy, our life-saving Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. If you go to UtahCreditApproval.com, you can restore your credit, and you can also get a reliable automobile. Call them at 801-921-9819. Also, by Always Black Friday, where I just got Todd's Christmas gift, 75% off, and there's insanely cool luxury goods and items, tons of toys, amazing name-brand clothes. All you have to do is head up to Ogden and go take a look at this store, and everything is finished. Also, by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where John is here with a winter special to make sure everything's working right for you. All you have to do is go to allutahplumbing.com. Hi, Daisy. Good morning. What's going on?
Good morning, guys. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news Tuesday, December 19th on GephartDaily.com. Police have given the all clear after a suspicious package was found Monday night on board a southbound front-runner train. The discovery was made about 6:30 p.m. and resulted in the train being evacuated at a stop in Clearfield. The UTA used a bus bridge to shuttle passengers to their next stops, while the bomb squad carefully examined the suspicious package. At 10:39 p.m., UTA tweeted the bus bridges had ended and trains would be resuming their normal schedules. There's no word yet on what was inside the package. A woman accused of hitting and killing a Taylorsville teen Thanksgiving Eve has been charged with manslaughter. Police say 27-year-old Roxana Molina was driving between 83 and 94 miles an hour when she struck and killed Robert Harsh as he attempted to cross the street at 4200 South and Redwood Road. Molina fled the scene but was arrested moments later. Police say her blood alcohol level at the time of the crash was double the legal limit. And the Utah Highway Patrol has had a banner year in 2017 when it came to confiscating illegal drugs. According to a report by the Department of Public Safety, troopers recovered 2.5 tons of marijuana, 550 pounds of meth, 100 pounds of cocaine, and 46 pounds of heroin. They also confiscated 40 firearms. And time now for your Wasatch Front forecast, brought to you by our ultra cool sponsors at Brio Technologies, home of Utah's top audiovisual specialists. If you're holding out for a white Christmas, you might be in luck. And if you're hoping for a shot at hypothermia, then the odds are considerably better. We'll see temps in the upper 40s Tuesday and Wednesday under partly cloudy skies, then 4 days of storms into the picture. There'll be a considerable chance of snow those days, and temperatures will also plummet. Expect nighttime lows in the single digits by the weekend, straight through until Christmas. From the look of things, Santa's going to need to double down on the long underwear. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Aaron, back to you.
Daisy.
Thank you, Daisy. Oh, I got to put this back on. Hang on. Okay, there you go.
Is that our mood music?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about all Utah plumbing, heating, and air. And I'm going to draw an analogy. Of my head cold and John, the plumbing, heating, and air guy. Are you ready? All right. So I have a cold and I'm stuffed up. And if I do that and I'm your furnace, guess what's going to happen? I'm not going to run efficiently. I'm not. Okay, let's say that my head is a sewer line and I'm all stuffed up. Well, John will come out with his crew and do the thing and put the camera down there, put a camera up my nose. He's not going to do that because I won't let him. And then he's going to find out what he needs to do, which is a great thing. Enough with the analogy. It doesn't work. So basically what John is going to do, he's got a thing going on right now. And if you're going to replace your furnace, why not replace the AC at the same time and buy a package? You know why? Because they both work together. And he's got a great deal going on right now. They're going to give you $2,000 off, a free air scrubber, inversion, and also they're going to give you the AC unit. So you are going to save $3,200, which is the equivalent of giving you the furnace for free. All you have to do is go to allutahplumbing.com for all the information. I want to point
I thought
something
that was
out.
masterful.
Not really.
I thought so.
I want to point something out to you that we
Yes.
have a new piece of technology in the studio, and I want to share it with you. Can I? Oh. And the guys in the back must have stayed up really late.
Well, no, look, I would like to point out in the defense of our producers and our cameramen and everybody that they videographers, that they tried really hard to give us like high-tech stuff at the beginning, like things that you stick in your ear where they can talk to you.
And it's just
and then it's supposed to be really smooth and you're talking and you're still listening to them. And neither one of us are that bright, so we said, could you just knock on the wall when the mic is open? So
that's what we've been doing.
And they felt like that was probably not high-tech enough.
Right.
So
Okay. All right.
they came up with a solution that probably makes them feel less like they're bleeding from their eyes because they're irritated with us. So that's good.
All right. So here's the light. It's on. It's on. Off. On. Off. So, Erin, what this means is this is the swearing light.
Okay.
When it is glowing red, there is no swearing.
I don't swear
When
on
it's
the air.
off, that means you can talk like a sailor or something.
And they're also pointing out that you're also like highlighting the bottle of vodka standing right next to the light. Because that's smooth. Yeah. That just is getting slapped.
That's just wrong.
That's just sad. So that's a nice display, honey.
All right, there you go. All right, so there we go. The new technology. I'm done with this camera.
That was smooth.
Well, I know. What are we going to talk about here?
All right, let's move back. It's time for Tell Me Something Good. It is brought to you by our dear friends at Always Black Friday. Their store in Ogden is just open, and it is stuffed to the gills with amazing merchandise, like 75% off. I had a hard time leaving there, and Todd probably will never let me go back again.
Well, you bought
It
me
was amazing.
my Christmas present there, and you won't tell me what it is.
No,
By
I
the way,
won't.
if you go to their website, they'll give you an inventory of all the stuff they have
It's really fun.
to save you time.
Okay, well, I'm going to get through this. I know I am without crying. Probably not, but I'm going to try really super hard. Here's
you
the
doing?
deal. Elia Prasesko fled Poland when he was 24. This is when World War II broke out. And he left behind his family, including his younger brother Wolf. 102 years old. And he'd escaped the Nazi death camp where the rest of his family perished. And Wolf was sent to a Siberian work camp where his brother thought that his story had ended. After settling in Israel,
His whole family gone.
the centurion learned just a few days ago that his brother, who's now deceased, at least made it through the war and had settled in Russia.
Right.
Elihu's grandson found a testimony in the records about that Wolf had filled out for his older brother, who he thought he too had died. Alexandra, who's Wolf's only child, lives in the same Russian village, had a meeting with his uncle, and crying and cupping his nephew's face, Elihu remarked that Alexandra was a copy of his father and says, "I have waited 70 years to see you." 70 years.
Nose to nose. Look at that. Just nose to nose.
I haven't slept in 2 nights waiting. And he says, he said, I promised my father that I would come and see you. He waited 102 years to see him. I mean, I just...
Thanks so much. Now we're crying. Do you want one of these?
No, it's just that unendurable strength of family that is just so...
Look at them. Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
It's such a story.
Each of them thinking the other has perished and trying to... And look at those little sweet hands of his.
There you go. All right, stop. You're making me cry.
Now you have a big family here in Israel. All right, I'm going to stop crying. Thank you, guys. But I just thought that was such a gorgeous story.
Give me the board game story.
Board games that bring out the worst in us. After we've had a heartwarming thing, now you're going to go to something horrible and
I'm
awful.
going to mix the palette.
All right, there you go, baby.
Actually, I don't even need this. This is ridiculous. Erin's family, when we first met, and I remember that they said, Todd, why don't you come over? And they were like checking out, Todd, who are you? What's up? And I was doing pretty good. And the whole family was there, and someone yelled out, and I'll never forget this, hey, let's play a choir. And I had never heard of the game, so I thought, fun, laughing.
This is down at Lake Powell.
This is going to be
His first
great.
vacation with my family.
And went vacation with them. And I went, a choir, that's so cool. And someone gets the box out, and they're putting it on the table. My brother-in-law, Bill, grabs me by the elbow and leads me off the boat in the bum's rush off the boat. And I said, what are we doing? I thought we were going to go play. And he goes, you don't want to get involved in this. And sure enough, within 30 minutes, there was yelling. And not good yelling. And their family, very nice family. But something about the box.
Until we play.
The box is like, when they opened the box, the evil came out. Pandora. It's Pandora's box. It is. And suddenly, all these nice people, including her mom, turned into these vicious, capitalistic, crazy people.
It's a stock buying game, and it's brutal.
Do you ever finish the game? Because
before the fisticuffs break out. No,
Yeah.
Someone usually flips over the game board at some point. No, but here's the thing: we're not the only ones, and I'd like to point this out because you think we're so unstable.
You are
There is a
stable.
psychology behind why board games make us horrible human beings, and the first one is our brains are processing the imaginary loss as a real one. So when my sister deliberately undercuts me by buying the last 3 pieces of stock that would have allowed me in order to take over that entire brand, she's doing it out of spite, and she's making me lose my entire life savings, at least in my brain. And the next thing is that the games are competitive by nature. They're designed to make it a me versus you mentality. That's kind of the whole point of it.
And what's Christmas all about anyway?
Exactly. And this one is the one I really enjoy. Dad may be the head of the house, but I rule this game. My father's
funny.
especially vicious at board games. I mean,
funny.
exceptionally vicious. And he's one of the smartest men in the world, but he turns into a 17-year-old if he doesn't win. Because it's just like it has now somehow usurped his authority as the male head of the household if we have beaten him in a board game.
It says watch your intake of alcohol, because it just makes everything worse.
And they said do an easy one where it doesn't require like a lot of strategy.
Shoots and ladders.
Like Uno is a good one.
Shoots and ladders.
Uno, you can't really hold a ton against each other unless you get a pick four. You know, it's
Candyland's good unless you're diabetic.
and the other one they say is resolve not to act against someone else's aggression. Just assume they're crazed for many obvious reasons and that you can all live through it.
You're right.
But
Coming up.
But it is funny. I had not known this psychology before we read this article, but it's true. It's like that was totally my dad. Now I know why he turned into this lunatic. It's like we had somehow usurped his authority as our father.
I thought it was getting better.
No.
And then the Acquire game, I haven't seen it in a long time, which is nice.
My mother set
Years.
it on fire.
And now what we have is my nephew, Gabe, really likes the
Werewolves.
werewolves and fantasy and sci-fi and all this stuff. And he will sit at the head of the table and he will go through all the rules. At one point, we all fall asleep. And then the second is her mom's like, well, who shoots the wolf and what do I get? And at that point, it's just like, all the fun is gone. Because it's very lengthy. And it's a game that no one knows.
And there's a lot of betrayal, and if you're not acting correctly and you screw over one of the other villagers, it's a hard.
Gabe shot his grandmother. And she goes, what happens now? And he goes, you die.
He seemed really happy about it, too.
Oh, my gosh. All right, coming up, UFOs in the sky. Now, there's pictures.
There's U.S. pilot testimony, which I thought was really cool. U.S. Air Force fighter pilot testimony, which is kind of cool.
And free Google Fiber. It's all coming up next.
Todd and Aaron's Morning Stream, brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, helping you on the road to good credit with just the right car. Go to utahcreditapproval.com or call them at 801-404-7201. Also brought by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel has an epic sale on cruises through the 21st of October. You can get hotel and everything you can imagine just for less than the price you would of simple airfare. You have to talk to them first at columbusvacations.com.
And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Aaron Morning Stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
Apply today.
And drive away.
Just kidding. It's John with All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Give us a call so that you don't get coal delivered.
Welcome back to the Todd and Aaron morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. In case you're a photographer at home and want to know what the exposure would be on this, you can read on the other camera. Go to the other shot, please.
That looks super official, though.
Yeah. So just set your camera like this.
You got all the little bits.
And you too can have this kind of shot.
See, this is why I can't be a good photographer, because I get distracted by all the numbers. I can't start paying attention to the shot anymore.
Oh, there's other reasons besides that, hon. You know that.
Really bringing up the ADHD again.
I'm sorry. Free Google Fiber.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day because we were talking about this, and if you think about it, it's like the internet is like the modern Martin Luther. I mean, not Martin Luther, but
Encyclopedias.
Gutenberg Press. The first time that they brought books to the masses and said you should be able to read for yourself, because during that era, and they had said, no, the commoners are not allowed to read. We will tell you what you need to know.
Right.
And it was the first chance for people to have their own wisdom. And it was interesting because even H.G. Wells, you know, the science fiction writer, he predicted that humanity would pull the mind of the world together into a futuristic encyclopedia. And he said that it would be available via electric impulse to the entire world, which basically he has said the internet.
So Google Fiber right here in Salt Lake City.
You've been seeing the trucks all over the place.
And they're giving it for free, too.
Well, this is the insanely crazy high-speed stuff that's like to die for. They gave it to a lot of the Utah nonprofit housing corporations, and they gave it to several of the bigger apartment complexes that are low-income housing.
Right.
And the reason why they did this, and they're doing it for free, all the services are provided free, and the reason they did it that way is they said, it's back to that same concept, that everybody has the right and the same equal access to knowledge.
Right.
And so what they wanted to do is make sure that people whose kids may not be able to afford $70 a month for internet service had those same opportunities to be able to study at home and do their homework and learn these things and look things up. And so I just thought that was such a cool idea.
I saw something yesterday online, and they had 4 kids sitting at a table on stage, and then 4 kids sitting at a table, and then they drew a curtain between them. And what they did is they say, we're going to ask you some questions, and they're going to get harder and harder as we go. This group they brought in, and they brought in laptops and tablets and all this stuff, and it gave them a Wi-Fi signal. Over here, they brought them encyclopedias and books and things like that.
I love books.
And then they started asking the questions, and they were scientific, and they were math questions and some other history questions. And as soon as you got it, you'd ring the bell. You'd stand up and tell them. Okay, so the first one is general knowledge, and the group without computers got it. And then from then on, all the people with the computers answered the questions correctly. And you watched the look on the others' faces, and
the frustration.
They didn't know. They thought they still had books, and they're like, "What's up with this?" And then finally, at the end, they drew the curtain back, and the look on their faces, where they were like, "What? Why don't we get that?" You know, and so the fact that you don't have internet, think of how far back that pushes you. And
it's true that, you know, anyone can go to the library, and that's another one of the things I love our libraries for so much, is because it's a community place where, once again, anybody can access it. But if you're a little kid and you're 8 and it's night and you've got to do your homework and you don't have that option. And one of the things they said, though, is they also said that when there is internet, there's internet access in the home. They found this through a lot of their lower income communities. Parents are twice as likely to be more involved in homework, because they feel like they have something to offer, that they can sit down and they can work with them. But I thought that was such a cool thing.
And they saw this group of kids without the computers, and they're going through the encyclopedia-type books, and they're looking, and they're going through the index, and they're going, you know, Caesar.
Desperately
Caesar,
trying to look it up.
Where is Caesar? They couldn't even find it faster than they had. The other group had the right answer. Anyway, I thought it was really interesting.
So anyway, Google Fiber, thank you. I think that's a wonderful thing. And it's not that you don't have all the money in the world, so it's going to hurt you any, but I'm still really thrilled you did it, and it was a great idea.
And one of the things you could look up is UFOs.
What a smooth transition to our next story, Todd.
I don't feel well.
No, you don't need any more cold medicine. Keep going, baby.
This happened November 14th, 2004. Tell them. Former Navy commander.
Retired Commander David Fravor spent 18 years in the Navy as a pilot.
18 years.
But this was November 14, 2004. He says, I can tell you, I think it was not from this world. I'm not crazy, haven't been drinking. It was after 18 years of flying. I've seen pretty much about everything I can see in that realm, and this was nothing close. And if you think about the Navy and Air Force pilots, they're extraordinarily intelligent men and women.
Yeah.
I mean, they're incredibly well educated. They are trained for any kind of strange thing that happens. They are used to working in emergency situations.
Right,
so it's not like this
right.
guy's going to flip out and go, I'm seeing something.
Right. They could
But-
be my wingman anytime.
The unidentified flying object was shown in the photo. This was ironically obtained by the New York Times from the Freedom of Information Act because.
Oh, that's right.
And he said that it was a 40-foot-long wingless object that flew in incredible speeds in erratic pattern.
Can we see that? Do we have
And that was over the water. He says, I've never seen anything in my life in the history of flying that has the performance and acceleration. And he said it was like a giant tic-tac. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So, and he said that it was interesting. He had postulated one
Erratic
theory.
flight.
Yeah, but up and down, he said in movements you couldn't do. He had a postulated theory, though, when he said when he was watching it, he said it was hovering over the ocean, and he wondered if it was trying to communicate with something like the whales or something.
Oh, now you're crazy, girl. You just became crazy.
The
girl.
whales have an intelligence that goes far beyond our own.
You go crazy.
The knowledge of the
girl.
sea.
Yeah.
Anyway, the important thing is that that's really cool. And what they found out is from the Freedom of Information Act is that the Pentagon actually did fund a UFO study for I think it was a good 20 years. Area 59, yeah, that crap's all true. Yeah. And it was, I think they had allocated $22 million a year for it, and they were basically looking for extraterrestrial life. And I don't think there's a single one of us who really doubts that there's got to be one. I don't know if they've shown up here, but come on. Of this infinite galaxy, we are the only planet with a life form. Of course.
Aaron, why don't you just look at the little Christmas town here and just kind of
You
relax.
doubting the Navy pilot?
Just good. Oh, no, I don't doubt the Navy pilot, but just relax. Pretend you're inside
I'm
this
going to
house.
push that off the table in about 2 seconds if you don't
This
turn
is
it up.
worse than your slippers with the bells on it, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
My slippers are coming back.
I would love to be a pilot, Navy pilot. I think that would be so cool.
Only thing that's sad
Because then
about
you
it,
go like this, talk to me, Goose.
only thing I'm sad about is they
See that
defunded.
reference I just
It was
did
really good,
to
yeah.
Maverick, talk to me, Goose?
It was really sad though. They defunded the project. I believe it was 8 years ago because they said that they needed to reprioritize the money.
Or do they?
Okay,
All right, so
we did the irritated sigh at the same time.
I know
Who wins?
no one wins with us, son. We're stuck with each other, and that's the way it's going to be.
It's so beautiful when you say things like that.
You know why we're
Makes
together?
my heart sore.
You know why we're together? No one else will have us.
No, the reason we're together is because we're both frightened that if we got divorced, that some judge would assign one of us sole custody to the children, and it's us against them every day.
Because it's not like the Disney film, so they just split them up and they meet again.
No, they want dinner every night.
This guy is a...
Mario Batali. Can I read this because I'm dying to? Please.
Yes.
Celebrity chef Mario Batali, you know he was one of the latest who was fired.
No, let me say one thing.
Sure.
On the Food Network, he was one of the first breakouts as far as people just like
Do you think that
and he had this
that more and
certain thing,
more corporations are sort of
people were
facing
like, and he dealt with ew.
Wasn't he like the more butter guy?
Oh, ew. So anyway, allegations, sexual harassment, sexual attacks.
His show was canceled, and he was actually forced to step down in the board of directors of 3 of the restaurants that he's a co-owner in.
Right.
And he apologized for the allegations that he sexually harassed women and groped them while drunk. But here's the apology he sent out, his official apology to the press and to the newsletter that
Stand
he
by
sends to
for
fans.
this. Yeah.
Batali wrote, I have made many mistakes, and I am so very sorry that I have disappointed my friends, my family, my fans, and my team. My behavior was wrong, and there are no excuses. I take full responsibility. Sharing the joys of Italian food, tradition, and hospitality with all of you each week is an honor and a privilege, and without the support of all of you, my fans, I never would have had a forum with which to expound on this. I will work every day to regain your respect and trust. Oh, and...
So wait. At this point, you're thinking, okay.
And then he finishes with, in case you're searching for a holiday-inspired breakfast, these pizza dough cinnamon rolls are a fan favorite. Happy holidays, Mario Batali.
Oh my God.
Why do I not get the sense
That
that
he
perhaps
knows.
Mario is fully sincere in his remorse for randomly grabbing women's personal body parts?
I can't even make a joke about it because this is not, for me, it's not a joking matter, but what a dick. I'm sorry.
It's like really,
Just, I
It's
mean,
like-
it has no idea the level this has come to.
the men and women, because you know there are women who are involved in this, who are nailed.
Sorry about the
and,
D word.
And there's fake allegations. There are always fake allegations, and believe me, they come with money. But the ones that you were seeing that are getting fired and they're forced to step down
Right.
and they're apologizing, they're doing it because they're caught dead. They're caught dead like it's incontrovertible proof. Because
Red-handed.
no corporation gives up a $200 million contract with somebody unless it is incontrovertible proof. So
true.
for this guy to have this level of
And throw a recipe at you, really? What an idiot.
I'm super sorry. Here's some
Well, of
cinnamon
course-
pizza rolls.
Of course he's an idiot. A fan favorite. Hey, coming up next, I don't even, does he not have
I know,
friends?
but the timing is so seamless. It's just, I'm so sorry. Here's some pizza rolls.
Family favorite. What an idiot. Okay, so coming up, how much did Star Wars make? How much did the other, what is the biggest box office going on right
Ooh,
now?
Hollywood Connection. We got some really cool stuff coming up.
Next.
The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
Welcome back to the Todd and Aaron Morning Stream on GetPartDaily.com. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Please turn it off.
All right.
It's really sweet, but please turn it off. Hollywood Connection is brought to you by Connect Building Services, and this is cool. I don't know if you've been in the theaters recently and seen the new premiere for Wrinkle in Time. This was one of my absolute favorite stories as a little girl. Madeline Langle wrote it, and it's basically about children who go to the adventure of a different dimension in order to find their father. And they're these beautiful creatures. Have you seen this before?
I haven't.
And it's a really powerful, like epic, intergalactic, interdimensional battle between the courage of children,
Right.
and this thing. But they did a most amazing cast I think I've ever seen, and they just had them up on the cover of Time magazine. If you guys have got that picture, Oprah Winfrey, Mindy Kaling, Reese Witherspoon,
What?
and then they have a newcomer called Storm Reed. She wanted to cover the entire gamut of all of the racial type. The representatives, I'm not sure how to say it,
Yeah.
and then reincorporated into the other galaxy so that it all sort of blended together. But it was really beautiful. So you've got these women who are like top incredible actresses, and
Cool.
I'm dying to see this movie. It's supposed to be
So
absolutely
when is
incredible.
that? Is that out now?
No, it's not coming out for 2018, so it's going to be one of the summer blockbusters. But it's amazing.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
Oh, that's like, I really love pizza. We're going to have it next year.
You can wait. Top 10 Christmas movies of all time. Have you ever wondered?
Of all time.
And it's not the ones I thought. And these were readjusted for inflation as well.
I might not agree with this
Why?
because I think I have specific tastes in Christmas movies.
That may be, but everybody else like these. This one shocks me. Daddy's Home 2.
Is that number 1?
Because no, this is number 10.
Oh,
This just came out this year. $91 million. That just kind of stuns me. And it's really funny.
Daddy's.
No, Mark Wahlberg, this is one where his dad's Mel Gibson, and he shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And then Will Ferrell's dad is John Lithgow.
So what they're saying is, doesn't have to be really good, but this is how much money it
It's at Christmas.
All right.
4 Christmases. This, I don't know if you remember this one. Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon, and they hate their families, so they tried to sneak away to the
Right.
Bahamas, and their families caught them, and so they had to actually go to their houses for Christmas. A Christmas Carol. This is the Robert Zemeckis one. It was animated.
Sims is the one you have to say.
It's not animated.
Not the Sims like in the. Never mind.
The Santa Claus 2, 139 million. The Santa Claus was number 6 at 145 million. Elf, I thought Elf would be number 1. Elf was 173 million. Will Ferrell, what's more adorable?
I know him.
Santa. Home Alone 2, that was the 4th, Lost in New York.
Mistake.
Polar Express, I thought this one had tanked at the box office.
I watched it yesterday, and there is just a creep factor.
Robert Zemeckis directed this. Tom Hanks, if you remember, this came in 3rd.
What was it called? What was the technique they used?
But the animation was, what they said is that one of the things people had trouble with is the animation was just close enough to human.
Too close.
That it made people uncomfortable. That I guess that there's like a mental dividing line where it's like,
yeah,
it has to be one or the other, and people were uncomfortable with.
It's like a really good robot that they've built, and the face works, and it blinks, and it looks back and forth, and its mouth curls, and its eyebrows go down, and it's close enough to a human, but not. And evidently, the animation was actually them doing it, and the animation was laid over on top of it.
So they ran it live action and then did a
It's a great story. It's a great thing, but once in a while,
It's
you just look
Zacky's
at
favorite.
you look at it and you go, ah.
But it did really well, 185 million. I didn't realize it did so well.
That's very cool.
Number 2, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This was the Jim Carrey one, which we adore. We just watched again, as a matter of fact, last night. I'm sorry, he is the Grinch.
Oh my gosh.
He's the Grinch.
Do you know, he, if you noticed, he's been on TV a while for interviews and stuff.
He got the crazy beard, like he's been living up in a hut somewhere.
I'm going to say this, but he doesn't seem right.
Most comedians aren't right, sweetheart. And since you were one of them, you should know that.
Shamer. Don't shame me. But no, seriously.
No, it's true. He looks a little off. Yeah.
He said he had, it was after the Grinch that he kind of had this thing that there is no Jim Carrey. And he is not Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, that you know, goes on to do films and stuff, but that's not him. And you're like, wow.
I've talked to celebrities like this, and you're holding the mic going, I can't pull this one back, can I? This is not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to have to sit here and wait for him to
Goofy land.
be
You're
done.
going to Goofy land.
Number 1, this doesn't surprise me, although I don't agree with it, Home Alone. Home Alone at $285 million. Macaulay Culkin, of course, that set his career.
Yeah, that's
And then
true.
came Home Alone 2 and 3 and 4 and 9,000 and 37.
Mistakes.
1136.
Especially at
'Cause
third.
how many times can you leave your child alone at home?
Terrible parents.
Because I've tried, and they still find me.
They hunt us down.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I love that. That is a wonderful Grinch version, though. I can live with that one. But the Christmas Carol one, no. It's not the animated one.
Coming up.
Yes?
Fruitcake, yes or no?
No.
We're going to drag Daisy in on this one, but first we need information.
That's probably for the best. Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. Go to fink-mcgregor.com. Did you know you can get a mortgage with a credit score of 600? Yes, let Jeff and his people help you. Also by To Liberate a Man. You can free yourself from adult addiction for good with a proven path that helps you regain your family, your self-esteem, and your life. Go to liberateaman.com. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a new place up in Ogden now. You can find them at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making national and world headlines Tuesday, December 19th on Gephardt Daily. 3 people are dead and more than 100 others injured after an Amtrak derailed Monday in Washington state. The train was on its first trip on a new route between Seattle and Portland when 13 of its cars jumped the track. Several of the rail cars fell from an overpass onto a busy interstate highway. Investigators say the train was going 80 miles an hour when it jumped the tracks. It should have been traveling at 30 miles an hour. The cause of the accident is under investigation. A senior North Korean official in charge of construction on the country's nuclear facilities is believed to have been executed. A Japanese newspaper says the top official was recently removed from his position, then executed for allegedly disclosing military secrets. Sources say the dearly departed had also taken too long to drill tunnels used in North Korea's nuke testing. And if that's not enough cheery news from that neck of the woods for you, you'll be thrilled to know South Korea's scrambled fighter jets Monday after 5 Chinese military aircraft entered the country's air defense space. The deployment of 2 Chinese bombers, 2 fighter jets, and a reconnaissance plane followed a summit between China and South Korea designed to ease the tension in the region. Looks like it was an overwhelming success. That's it for now. For more news from across the nation and around the world, go to gephartdaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, so we're back, and Black Diamond is here for you. The reason I say that is because they are actually available 24/7, and I really enjoy hearing the horror stories. I don't know why, because I'm sick. I'm like that at emergency rooms too. But I was talking to a couple of the technicians. I'm tell the most horrible thing you ever saw, ever, and they do. And it's like this one guy literally was waist deep in sewage up in this mountain house, this elegant, fancy mountain chalet. And they finally got done, and the family was like, look, we're about to sit down to Christmas dinner. Here's a pair of my husband's sweatpants. Sit down and eat with us. I mean, these guys, they're the experts, and they can fix anything. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They're there for you. I'm really hoping nothing happens on Christmas, because this guy seemed a little shook up about it still. But new place in Ogden, and they're easy to reach. You just go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
Thank you, Erin.
Hi, honey. Good morning.
Hi, here I am. Nice and cozy.
You look very pretty.
All right, so this is the time of year. We do this once a year, and we taste fruitcake to see if this is the year we're going to like it.
Now, I would like to point out something. When we talked to Daisy about this, she actually almost had me sold on the British version.
Yes.
Because does this look like the version that you cook at home?
No.
What do you see here in front of you?
I had a really good idea about this fruitcake because you were showing it to me before the show, and I felt how heavy it was, and my twisted brain made this great connection.
Okay.
Oh dear.
That when you have your board games, right? I have a grisly board game story in my family, and my idea is that when we play the board games, I'm going to have a cake like that to my left or right, and then if someone really bugs me, I'm going to hit them with that fruitcake.
You know what? This
Because
would
it's
make
really heavy.
That's an effective blunt object.
Yes, it's so blunt.
And it's like, who's really going to charge you in court? Oh, come on. What could she have done to you with a fruitcake?
Yeah, it was a fruitcake, but if you pick it up, it weighs.
But you could dislocate somebody's jaw.
This is like 4 pounds.
My mum gave me a Beatles Monopoly game, and I've truly blacked out what happened after that. It was so bad.
Right.
It was so bad.
Well, this one, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it all went to pot. But sorry, back to the fruitcake.
No, I'm gonna say our
Now tell me how
camera Mike dude really likes this.
Tell me how you make your fruitcake, because it involved marzipan, which was a decisive change for me.
Yes, and I'm going to try and get it, although London Market's closed now, which is sad.
Closed as in gone?
Closed as in gone.
What are you Brits gonna do?
Yeah, where do
just
you get your
cry
fix?
on the floor, I know.
Right?
I wonder if there's another British
Does
shop.
anyone else have a British provider's shop where
Yeah.
they bring in the provisions?
So ours is like this, but the middle's kind of like this, but then this is what sold you on it, is your face. You're like, God, that's repulsive. On top, it's got marzipan and then hard icing.
So you see, that was the part I could get behind. I was
Yeah.
prepared to consume the rest just for the marzipan, but this.
Let's do a little CSI, shall we? Would you come in really close here? Because I want to see if we can identify some of the different ingredients.
Oh.
So if I start on top.
Children's tears. I think that's in there.
Start on top.
Carcinogens.
So, wait.
Some of those.
That's a look at the monitor. That's a cherry, correct? Can you see that? No. Okay. I'm going to go to the main character, the main camera.
I'm just laughing because this is so scientific.
Well, he's
Very-
sincere in his efforts. He really wants
Very
this to.
scientific, isn't it?
Wait till you see what we're doing to you tomorrow with the Oreos.
Oh
honey.
gosh, okay, I'm ready
All right.
for that.
This cherry.
That's a cherry.
What's the green thing?
That's Angelica, or at least that's what it's called in England.
What is Angelica?
I have no idea.
There's nothing angelic about
The
it.
only time I've ever seen that green thing is on a cake.
What's the sort of yellowish, clearish one?
Gelatin.
Gross.
Okay. What is the orange? What's this one right here? And then, what's up with this here?
Is that the same? What?
Oh, are those
This reminds
raisins?
me of the spotted dick pudding cake that you brought.
No, the spotted dick was
goodness.
delicious.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah, I was really.
I had
I'm a
no
huge fan of
problem with
spotted
that.
dick now that you had shared.
Yeah,
that with
we
us.
didn't have difficulties with that at
No,
all.
the dick was delicious.
Yeah.
Currants?
There has to be. Is there ginger in it? Because that might redeem
Well,
it a
there's
bit.
only one way to find out.
There's
Are
only
currants and
one way.
raisins two different things?
I think maybe, but I can't think what. Like, what is one like?
Well, they're both vile shriveled fruits.
Yeah.
Are currants still from grapes or are they from something else?
Oh.
Different plant. Different kind of grape.
Oh, did you get it right in there?
I'm gonna go. Ready? Everybody?
Yep.
Count of three. This could be the year we like fruitcake. 1, 2, 3, go. Is this the year?
I hate to say it.
Really?
No. No. I'm gonna spit it out. Oh no.
It's yours.
It's heavy.
It is.
It's alright.
Take it home
And
to
now you
the
have a
board
blunt
game.
object for the board game.
That would go great for a Christmas present, wouldn't it? Here's a fruitcake, but Todd and Aaron just sort of.
They nibbled on the
They
side.
nibbled.
We'll autograph.
Oh. Perfect. No, you know what? It has a weird aftertaste.
Yeah.
Like
It's back to those green things again. They don't seem right.
All right, and this piece is for Mike. That's yours.
I feel like from the aftertaste that this cake was probably made like 20 years ago, and it's just preserved.
They actually found one that was over 50 years old, and it had been sitting in some grandmother's closet, and they ate it
Why would you do that?
because they don't like their mouths.
Unless the alternative is eating like one of your children. Why would you eat that?
Right.
It was a challenge.
What's the price range of a very
This one
heavy
is
cake
$8,
like this?
right? And it's about 4 pounds. So you could measure it by the pound, as you do with lard.
Or you could measure it by your tears, which is probably more accurate.
Right?
And do you eat it with anything, or do you?
Yeah, it's just like cut up and put on a platter, and then out in a cheese and one of those tables that everything's laid out, and this is the thing that's left at the end.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, eggnog too.
There's not enough eggnog to make this tasty, Mike. I'm sorry, honey.
Mike, our guy here, what is the most expensive fruitcake that you've eaten? $25. And the 25.
The
take
king
a bite,
of
Take a bite
fruitcakes.
of yours
Yeah, try it.
and see how does that match up to a $25 one?
Nowhere close.
Nowhere close. Okay.
Because did the $25 one have rum in it?
No, that one was only 17 and it was really good.
That would be a mitigating factor because it would kill your taste buds enough to like not be as offensive.
Just soak it with rum.
And then throw it away.
I'm not a rum fan either, though.
Are you not? What did you
That's one of
soak it
those
with?
Scrape it off into the trash.
Baileys?
How about Everclear and then we just light it on fire?
Oh, good. Yes, I like that.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I guess this means that this is not the year that we're gonna go fruitcake nuts.
But I'm going to bring in a British one before Christmas if I can find one.
That would be
and that
lovely.
might redeem.
On Facebook,
There's hope if we did
on
that.
Facebook, post if you know a place that we can buy that Daisy can
Has British goods, yeah.
That has British goods.
Yes, please.
All right, very good.
I will
Thank
love you forever.
All right, we're going to come back and we are going to. What are we doing next? Oh wait! Oh! Rent a goalie. This is hilarious. It's from Canada, and I'm gonna. It's hockey. It's next.
The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
Well, thank you. I agree with you.
Right.
Kim says those are candied full. She said not in a good way. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you this story because I saw this yesterday and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so funny. What are you doing?
We've had enough.
Do you have a war on Christmas?
We have enough.
What'd you just do there?
Okay, I have to hear that at home with Zach.
That's true.
I have to
did
hear it
too.
here, and I love it.
So
I bought it for him. Now you're going to
Earplugs-
stop.
Earplugs like this. I used to, cause if you noticed my build, I am perfect for hockey, cause I'm gangly and stork-like. where hockey players should be stout and shorter and just. And we used to do pickup games, and we go to the ponds. Makes me sound like Burl Ives.
The ponds.
And we
No, it just
make
sounds
our
like-
way down to the ponds, and we shovel off the pond, and then we'd have a game, and then people would come down.
No,
and
it just
jump.
makes you all cool in New England and like maple syrup. That's what it makes you. Go on.
And so
Cool
people
New
would be
England
there,
guy.
friends would meet, and then other kids would come, even if we didn't know them, and then we'd put teams together and we have fun. And the person who did a slap shot got the tar beaten out of him because the slap shot would go into a snowbank
Ow, goalie.
and disappear. I should point out that the pucks are about the same weight as a lacrosse ball.
That one guy looks like he's about to just clobber the goalie right in the top of the head.
That game almost did not happen. If it wasn't for the app I'm about to tell you about.
Tell me more.
Well, they put together, a lot of people do, you can do night games, you do pickup games, and you go to a rink. You go to a skating rink, and you go at like 11 o'clock at night, and they rent the ice really cheap. And so everybody chips in, and you can rent the ice. And a lot of people do that, but there in Canada is a shortage of goalies.
Really? There's a shortage of the people that get the puck right in their face and then have people clobber them with a big stick. I can't imagine that would be a position that would be rarely filled.
Because they're either a target or they're dead. So there is an app, and you can go on, and you can type in, I need a goalie, and you show them your location. And then people who have signed up for this, goalies, the ones with no teeth whatsoever, actually the best protected in hockey, by the way, they say, I can do that, and they confirm just like an Uber.
Oh, that's so funny.
And they show up at the rink, and they pay them. This one gentleman gets paid $40 a game. He's 50 years old, but you're standing there like this, waiting to get hit. And he's not like a superstar, but he's good. And you cannot play a game of hockey without a goalie.
That would be a crucial element. Yeah.
They're not saying, hey, I need a right-wing player. No, because they have enough players. They don't have enough goalies. I think that is awesome.
Rent a goalie.
He plays 2 games a night.
Dang.
He makes some cash.
So what would you be if you were a rent-a? What would you be?
Oh, if I could rent a?
No, yeah, what would your position? I'm trying to think of what people would rent me for. I could be rent-a-decorator. I could do all of your Christmas decorations.
Right.
I could be rent-a glue gun queen because I could get all the third-degree burns for you.
Okay.
What would you be?
I would be asked to go to dinner parties. And cocktail parties.
Rent a raconteur. You'd be the
No.
funny guy.
No, I would be, well, sort of, but I would be the one to intervene when someone was being an ass. This politician thing starts gearing up.
He's had so much experience with my family.
Like slide in there and just go.
Yeah.
It's okay. We have bacon.
Thank you, Richard. I love you best.
Why isn't our light on, by the way? Our new exciting light. So the point, you're just going to eat during the show? Well, we ate fruitcake. Go ahead.
I'm getting the taste out of my mouth.
I would be the humorous one, and I would be charming, as I am, and go and stop things from happening. If someone was like getting too drunk, I'd make sure they get home in a cab, and I'd tell them to shut up because they're annoying, and then things like that. That would be my job. If the hostess or host needed some help in the kitchen, there I am. That's about all I got.
I think everybody would rent you.
That's all I got.
No, I would totally rent you.
I'm like the
If
butler.
I was not married to you, I would rent you because you're right. That is like a crucial role in any successful party. You have to have someone who kind of
Moves it along.
moves
it along.
kind of just dissuades the
Yeah.
horrible people. And
Yeah, there comes Uncle Fred. Put him in the coat closet. There you go.
I think that's really nice.
That's what I would do.
All right. Now, we've been talking a lot about the British royal family recently just because Prince Harry just got engaged to American Markle, who we adore, who has a great smile.
Oh, we need Daisy again.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a royal family, right?
And she was the one who explained to us that the Queen lives in Buckingham Palace, but there's Kensington Palace, which is the party palace, where Prince George and Princess Kate live, and then Prince Harry's going to live there with Meghan. Well, they just put out a Christmas portrait from Kensington Palace, and those are like the most adorable children I've ever seen. I'm about to die right now.
One of the cool
Look at the
things.
little girl.
That's little George, isn't it?
Now look at little Prince George. He's
Yeah.
wearing the shorts. Now I'd
got
like
the
to point
shorts.
something out.
What?
All growing up, there were endless complaints from both Prince Will and Prince Harry
Right.
that their mother Diana had humiliated them by insisting that they go into the little dress shorts for every formal picture.
Right.
And they said that that was one of like the defining characteristics of awful of their childhood.
Right.
What did we just see there?
Let's go back, shall we?
What did we just see?
There is something.
What did that man put his innocent little child in? What did that
That's
man
just
put that child that when he goes to some expensive college like Eton College, that all of his friends are going to go, nice shorts, George.
No, wait a minute.
Look at that.
No, wait. So it's above the knee. And the other one's crinkled up. The other one's crinkled up, and he's wearing black socks, by the way. Yeah, and you know why, little Prince George there? You know what's cool about him? And you know what's cool about his family? Is look at his seams going down with the buttons on his shirt, askew. Look at his shorts, askew. One sock up, one sock down. You know what that makes them? Real parents.
Awesome.
Done.
And I have heard that, but I do feel that he is really...
He's a kid.
You know what? He's created this personal brand for his child, which is short shorts, and this is one the boy will never live down. And this is a father who knew better.
Maybe he's going to rock it. Maybe that's the new thing. Maybe little Prince George is ahead of his time.
That really was freaking adorable, though.
He
That
is.
the cutest
Just the
picture ever.
fact that he's, and I've seen other shots and other stories, and he's like, ah, and they take the picture and they use it because that's their kid.
And
Oh,
those
by
are
the
always
way,
the fun ones.
this is a new trend. You were talking about this.
Yeah.
And this is a new trend with photography, is that when you take a group shot, it never works out. It never works out. Everyone's not looking forward.
Somebody's laughing. Someone's eyes are closed.
Someone's blinking. Some kid's down looking at his shoes and all this stuff. And one of the cool things, and I thought this was great when you pointed it out, is taking multiple shots and using them all. So eventually you're going to get, not at the same time, but you're going to get a face shot laughing and having fun of each person, even if you have to do 5 or 6. And
Our
you
family
can-
portraits
you
of
can mount
Zach and
them.
McLean and Zoe and us
Right.
are a series of 3 because that's the only way we could get all the
Right.
kids up at one point.
Right. And so, I mean, I just thought, anyway.
There's one you got your leg over McLean.
Oh, yeah.
Zoe's like climbing on top of Zach and he's letting her. And,
Just
yeah.
rolling around on a carpet and just having fun, and it just worked out so well. So anyway, don't try to get the perfect shot for Christmas because you just get angry at the kids.
All right. I have 3 apps that are going to save you for Christmas because we were just barely talking about you're going home.
People always say that, but that never really happens.
These are really good.
Really?
Number 1, this one is for you.
Okay.
And
For
you're gonna-
me?
Yeah, all of us. You're going to use this app as you're driving to your parents' house.
Okay.
And it's the Relax Stress and Anxiety Relief app by Sagara. Now, it's free. And basically, it teaches you, it has soothing sounds, and it teaches you to do calm breathing. And it goes through calm affirmations.
Okay.
And it makes sure, and it actually can measure your blood pressure to make sure that things don't spike and that it's bringing you down. And you start feeling things are going crazy, you slip in the next room and you pop that sucker again.
May I ask one question? Sometimes people love their parents, and it's their brother, or it's the uncles or the aunts.
It
that
doesn't
you
matter
can't
who it
stand,
is. You can still have the calming app.
and still have the Christmas spirit.
Here's the next one, and this goes back to what you talked about, which is like when someone starts going like, well, I just think it's the best president, and there's
man.
one on one side and there's one on the other. This is when you smoothly slide in with, did you know that blah, blah, blah. There's a conversation
What do
starter
you mean,
app.
blah, blah?
Well, it could be anything. But it's like Ask Me Anything for adults. It's really cool. It's a free app. You can do Android or regular, and it basically there's a zillion different questions, and so basically it makes people go, oh, and they have to stop and think.
See, you're getting in the middle. Like if I was rented out,
Which is what I mean.
I'd
This
have
is
the
your
app
skill.
on my phone, evidently.
And here's the last
My
one.
watch.
The last one is that I like the best because this is my mother's mantra that I've taken on myself. You can laugh or you can cry. And when
Right.
things are at the point you're going to cry, start bringing out the jokes. They have Objectified Apps 18,000 cool jokes. This is really cool. I mean, they're really cool. They're from dorky kids jokes to like really terrible puns for your grandparents. And then there's some like really cool, entertaining, screamy jokes right in the middle. So they're all 3 of them are free apps. They just might do the trick.
Knock, knock.
Someone might not get set on fire. Oh, don't. Zoe's been doing that all week.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the 6-year-old thing? Knock, knock. Who's there? Iguana?
Iguana who?
Iguana who? Cheese whiz? Ah! And then she'll just fall over and just laugh uncontrollably. And you're like,
She just makes words up, and it's not even. She sucks at it. She really does. I mean, I was a stand-up comedy. I know when someone sucks at telling jokes, and she's horrible. You're talking about Christmas. My friend actually flattened his brother's car tires because of a argument they had.
Wow.
And he went out and he let the air out of all 4 tires. And then he wished everybody Merry Christmas and he left.
That must have been a really bad argument.
If you do one tire, you can use the spare. If you do more than one tire, there are no spares.
You're a bad person.
No, not me.
Well, let's go back to this. We love our UPS driver, Steve. He's like one of our favorite people.
And the dog loves him too and just wants to eat him.
No, that's our mailman.
That's true.
But it's very, very sweet, though, because these are the guys that come through for us every year. They come in through wind and snow and rain, and they wear the shorts, and they're nice.
busting their butts right now. They're running. They run, and the car pulls up, the big van, and they grab packages, and they run to the doorsteps, and they put them out, and they back in their truck, and off they go.
Girl thing, knock, knock, who's there? Iguana?
Iguana who?
Iguana who? Cheese Whiz? And then she'll just fall over and just laugh uncontrollably, and you're like...
She just makes words up, and it's not even... She sucks at it. She really does. I mean, I was a stand-up comedy. I know when someone sucks at telling jokes, and she's horrible. You're talking about Christmas. My friend actually flattened his brother's car tires because of a argument they had.
Wow.
And he went out and he let the air out of all 4 tires. And then he wished everybody Merry Christmas and he left.
That must have been a really bad argument.
If you do one tire, you can use the spare. If you do more than one tire, there are no spares.
You're a bad person.
No, not me.
Well, let's go back to this. We love our UPS driver, Steve. He's like one of our favorite people.
And the dog loves him too and just wants to eat him.
No, that's our mailman.
That's true.
But it's very, very sweet, though, because these are the guys that come through for us every year. They come in through wind and snow and rain, and they wear the shorts, and they're nice.
Busting their butts right now. They're running. They run, and the car pulls up, the big van, and they grab packages, and they run to the doorsteps, and they put them out, and they back in their truck, and off they go. No time for themselves.
Well, Tiffany Judd, who I love, she does all of her Christmas shopping online because she lives in kind of a rural area, and she knows what it's like for the FedEx and the UPS guys. So she started putting this big basket under the Christmas tree on her front porch that had water bottles in it and juice and all these sandwiches
That is awesome.
and things. And she had a little sign saying, "Grab yourself some lunch before you go." And so
a little snack.
Yeah, so the guys would be like, "Oh, that's great." But her security camera on the front porch captured the reaction of one UPS
Here,
driver.
go ahead. If you got
and
this,
it's
good.
so darling.
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet? He's like, "Come on in," and he goes, "Thanks."
Oh, that's so funny.
I just thought that was sweet.
That's we would do
and
that.
It makes me want to do something nice.
I'm going to do that.
Don't you think we should?
I think we put some water bottles up, and then that way we can walk out and see both of our kids sitting down, just chomping through everything that's there.
That would be, yeah.
That is funny.
Anyway.
That's a